think we're good. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, we're live. Turn this down real quick so I don't get copyrighted. Okay, what's up, everyone?
No one starts out as a flat earther, but
the link to this video is in the description. So, I'm streaming right now. I started the stream. Yeah. Okay. So today we're gonna be talking about this video right here. Flat earthers versus scientists. Can we trust science? Of course we can trust science. It's fucking science. Some of the people here are just plain retarded.
Hey guys.
If we have any breaks or pauses, it's because my little sister is here and she's being a crackhead. So Aya, just chill out and
Welcome back to Middle Ground.
Before we jump in, we've got a huge announcement. A podcast called Rat
Features.
If you think that is the shape of the Earth, point to it now. If you think the other model is the shape of the Earth, point to it now.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What do you think the shape of the Earth is?
I don't think. I know for a fact it's a globe.
okay, I'm just gonna say here, I am not a flat earther. I'm making fun of the people who are flat earthers. As you can tell by the title of this video, flat earthers are stupid as fuck. Honestly, how could you think that the earth is flat with all the evidence that we have against it? Like, oh, of course, my sister fell asleep. That's gonna be fun to move because she's literally right. Okay, actually, she didn't fall asleep yet, but she's almost there. Okay, if you're a flat earther, no offense. Actually, no, tons of offense. You're fucking stupid. If you're a flat earther, just get off my stream now. Get off my channel. Just leave forever and never come back because your kind is not wanted here. On with the video.
The Earth is flat.
it's like we have this picture of reality that's a big puzzle piece, and then one of those pieces just wasn't fitting.
I'm always open to having a discussion with someone who is holding a wrong belief like this.
Are you willing to change your mind on this?
I'm not. The evidence is so much.
What'd you say?
Sorry, Gene, I was on my parents' dog, so I had to bang this shit out quick.
Nobody wants to be a flat earther, but if you showed me incontrovertible evidence, I would definitely go back. Who wants the ridicule?
What are you hoping to get from the discussion with the other side?
I'd like to tear them to pieces.
I swear if they start using biblical evidence, because it's not fucking real. The Bible is not real. I'm an atheistic Satanist. I don't believe in God. He's not fucking real.
I'm Jim Underdown, Executive Director of the Center for Inquiry West in Los Angeles and the chair of the CFI Investigations Group.
I'm Spencer Marks, one of the senior members of the CFI Investigations Group, Science Advocate.
I am Marina Yeri. I'm a theoretical physicist, and I'm with the University of Irvine.
I am Wendell Walton. I am a Chief Learning Officer for a young startup.
I'm Shelley Lewis. I'm a graduate of West Point, critical thinker, and jumped out of airplanes.
My name is Dan Glattman. I work as Dan.
Why does this bitch have to mention that she's jumped out of airplanes before? Like, that's totally besides the point. But let's go on.
The waterman in the drinking water filtration industry, and I'm a truth seeker.
I get my flat earthers on the left and my globe earthers on the right. Only step forward if this is true for you. I believe the earth was created by a higher power.
As you can see, none of the scientists step forward because they base their studies off science, not a fucking fictional book.
Well, I've been.
I ain't gonna chill, bro. I'm gonna fuck up these motherfuckers as best as I can because they're stupid as fuck.
Christian for 30 years. So the Bible is a flat earth book. You have to take it literally. Like, for example, in Isaiah, when it talks about...
He's a flat earther because the Bible is a flat earth book. And then he quotes something from the Bible. The earth takes shape like a clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. Which, I don't believe in the Bible. Like I said, I'm an atheistic Satanist. I don't believe in that bullshit. So, that doesn't prove anything to me. Whatever the Bible says, I don't give a fuck because I don't believe in it. It's all fake. Say what you want. I don't give a fuck. It's all fake. Believe what you want. You can believe the lies, but it's all fake. And when you waste your life and then you die and then it all just goes black, I'm gonna fucking laugh in your face. Just saying.
About how the earth is like a clay wax seal that's stamped with upturned edges. That's just not some fancy story. That's a simile. It is like.
Right, absolutely. And in Isaiah it talks about too, and I'm a Christian, he who sits upon the circle of the earth. There's a difference between a circle and a ball.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
If you look at the...
He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth. Again, this is from the Bible. I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in the Bible. Don't believe in any of it. Christianity is very fucking stupid. The stupidest religion, in my opinion. I don't think there is a dumber religion. It's okay. Go back to sleep.
Original Hebrew, it means disc.
In original Hebrew, it means disc. In the Bible, apparently. Again, the Bible is false. So I don't give a fuck if the Bible says that the fucking earth is a giant fucking hot dog, because it's not real.
A giant fucking hot dog.
I don't give a fuck what that old book says. It's not true.
Over 200 scriptures in the Bible that point to a flat earth.
Again, he's mentioning there's so much in the Bible that points to flat earth. But again, the Bible's not fucking true. And even if you think the Bible's true, there's so much scientific evidence against the shit.
So this notion that you need God or some higher power to create the earth or the universe is very old, and was initially posited by people of a pre...
Okay, hold on, everyone. Let's take a break to fucking talk about how stupid Grand Theft Auto is. This shit just spawned my homie's submarine inside another submarine.
Look it, there it is. My fucking submarine right there.
Oh, that's some fucking crackhead shit.
Fucking submarine.
I'm gonna quit playing if the new update isn't good.
Rockstar, you're so fucking dog water,
Yeah, shout out to Rockstar, but not in a good way. Fuck you, Rockstar.
Scientific age. Since then, we have learned quite a bit about the universe coming into existence, when that happened. Modern humans don't get their cosmology, they don't get their physics, they don't get their knowledge of the universe from the Bible or any ancient text.
It's sort of like the God of the gaps. Once, people used to believe that lightning was God's wrath and throwing these lightning bolts, but once we understood it was a natural process, God shrank a little bit more because...
Okay, talking about the God of the gaps, basically, in older times, in like Greek mythology like that, people believed that things they couldn't explain were done by gods. And as we got that scientific evidence, the gaps were filled in, which is why it's called God of the Gaps. Basically, those gaps were filled in, and it disproved those things.
As now we couldn't attribute those lightning bolts to God, we had to attribute that to the...
Really? Oh my god, this fucking game is so stupid. Oh, I paused exactly at 420. I paused exactly at 420, that's great.
The real science. The other thing, the point about the Bible specifically for me is, why is that one particular text the correct one? You choose to believe that, and that's fine, but there's so many other writings and so many other books, so why weren't they correct? Why is just the Bible correct?
Well, what you'll find in a lot of these ancient religions,
another thing I want to touch on, there's so many different versions of the Bible. Why is only like one of them? Like, my fucking dumbass friend, or not even friend anymore, he's so fucking dumb. One of the dumbest people I know. Doesn't believe in science. He only believes in the King James version of the Bible. Like, why is that the version that you have to believe in? Like, why is only one version the right version when there's so many different rewritings?
is they're all flat earth religions. All their cosmology goes back to being a flat earth with an enclosed system. So it's not just the Bible that teaches this. It's many different religious books.
So one problem I have is to trying to explain.
She says many different religious books say that the earth is flat, but she doesn't give any examples or any proof at all. Like any statistic facts. She doesn't give any examples. She doesn't, not one single fucking thing.
Phenomena happen in nature by holy books. Those are religious books. Those are not books of science. And it is wrong to infer or deduct scientific.
Exactly. It's wrong to infer or deduct scientific information from a book that's not scientific. It's fucking not real. Like, no matter what you believe in, science is always going to be the top priority. I'm a Satanist, and one of the things that us Satanists believe in is that no part of your religion, no part of your beliefs should go against science, because it's facts. Like, if you go against science, you're just fucking stupid. Like, it's scientific facts.
Readings out of those books.
My name is Wendell. I am a logical, biblically based, and scientific.
Logical, biblically based. The Bible is not logical, in my opinion.
And if so, why can't that shit still happen now?
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that shit happen anymore. Why the fuck did it only happen that one specific time then and then never ever again?
Scientific flat earther. I didn't.
If God is real, why hasn't he come down and fucking told me yet? I used to be religious, and that shit got me nowhere. So I said, fuck that shit. And then I was atheist for a long time, and now I'm still atheist, but I'm a atheistic I'm a satanic atheistic Satanist. Getting my words mixed up a bit. I'm still an atheist, but I'm also a Satanist. So I believe in Satanist views, which we don't believe in Satan. We don't worship Satan. Satan is not real. Just like we think God is not real. Except some theistic Satanists do believe in that shit, but that's not real Satanism. I don't think that's real Satanism. If you're a theist, believing in God and shit, that pretty much goes against Satanism.
Start out, and no one starts out as a flat earther, but I had a lot of questions. So I actually got to the point where I had to go out and put my own eyeballs on it. So we went out to an observation at Salton Sea, and things just didn't add up down there. So we've gone back probably a dozen times, and I can guarantee you that there is no curvature over distance.
So they went to the Salton Sea. They looked and saw that it was flat when they looked. They didn't see any curvature. So that means the Earth is flat. They don't understand how land works, I guess.
The internet has played an important role in confirming.
They went to a flat area in the world, looked at it, saw that it was flat, and think the Earth is flat from that.
My view of this topic.
Let me just go to flat and call it bitch flat. One area out of the whole fucking wide world. Once I do that, what's flat, bro?
You can't see the curvature because the Earth is so fucking big. That's a basic scientific fact. These motherfuckers are stupid as shit.
That's the problem.
Well, we have the advantage of information today that's outside of channels 2, 4, and 7 and the few networks that are corporately owned. It's pretty easy to say YouTube isn't research, but when you spend enough time, you're picking up quite a bit. And with the discussion groups, panels, we've gone against opposition. We've opposed ourselves. Surprisingly enough, Flat Earth is its own worst enemy. So it's not that easy for us to come to consensus. And we find that consensus is orchestrated and not actually scientific in any way.
You know, my grandfather used to tell me growing up, never believe anything you read in the newspaper, right? He told that to me. Now, with the age of the internet, it's like, how much of this misinformation are you getting there? And when you have eyewitnesses taking video of something, you do have to take everything with a grain of salt. That's why, because of my my multimedia background, I knew that all that stuff could be faked. Take it into Photoshop, take it into After Effects.
Okay, this is at the core of the issue of why there are so many flat earth believers out there right now. The problem is the information from someone who decides to start a website or produce a YouTube video is not reliable. When I have a toothache, I go to a dentist. When my car breaks down, I go to a mechanic. When you have questions about cosmology, you should.
This is why Flat Earth is a conspiracy theory. There's some conspiracy theories that I do believe in, like Kurt Cobain did not kill himself; he was murdered. That conspiracy is probably true. I think it's true. I mean, if you look at all the evidence, it just doesn't add up that he killed himself. He had pretty short arms, and how would he fucking shot himself in the face with a shotgun? Like, he wouldn't have been able to like hold it out and pull the trigger because he had fucking short arms. And also, he had a whole like fucking like I think it was 2 whole like lethal doses of heroin in his system. He would have been dead before even able to fire the shotgun, which he wouldn't have even been able to fire. But we're not going to talk about that because that's not the topic of this video.
You should go to an astrophysicist, you should go to a physicist, you should go to people who have spent years and years studying these ideas, not some 6-minute YouTube video. There is a percentage of people that if they saw a YouTube video that was not within their scientific chops to refute on the face of it, would believe anything out there.
One of the things I will say is NASA.gov has their own documents out there that we get to vet, which is through the Freedom of Information Act. And would you agree that NASA documents, if they're on display, that we should be able to go and research inside there?
NASA is not proving that the Earth is flat.
Well, they say it in 14 of the documents inside there.
NASA is not proving that the Earth is flat.
Well, they say it in 14 of the documents.
You should read what NASA says, and you should listen to what
I
NASA
would
says.
love to see your NASA evidence that the Earth is
It's
flat.
only their contradictory.
They're saying there's NASA evidence that the Earth is flat? How stupid are these motherfuckers? Like, I've met some stupid people. But yeah, what's up? Bong rip.
Smoke break, nigga.
Smoke break. I wish I had something to smoke.
Issues
Okay,
that
let's
bring
see.
us here.
We're all familiar with the Earthrise photo, right? The Earth is rising over the moon. We're all familiar with it. That's a NASA. You can go out to NASA's site. You can download the original, right?
I already know what you're going to ask.
So you bring up the luminance on it, and you can see where it's cut out and pasted there.
They're showing us doctored images that are clearly doctored. The blue marble is a very famous image from 1972.
God, these people are making my fucking brain hurt. Apparently, these NASA photos are photoshopped. The official NASA photos are photoshopped. I can get behind the moon landing being faked because there's actual evidence behind that. But fucking this picture of the Earth being photoshopped. Yeah, this motherfucker should fucking start being friends with Chris. They would get along very well. Chris, if you're watching this, you're a fucking dumbass, and you need to fucking stop being such a dumbass.
When you talk to the artist from NASA, his name is Robert Simmons, he talks about exactly how it was created from data, and it's not a photograph whatsoever. He added clouds.
Let me explain.
He added a highlight of the sun.
If you take, on your phone, most phones have that panoramic image. When you do that, you're taking a series of pictures, and the phone cleverly stitches that
I'm just
together.
saying how it's
Hold on.
presented. It's
Hold on.
presented as a real
So when
photograph.
NASA takes real photos and they either clean them up for color or they stitch them together so it's one large image, it doesn't mean they're CGI.
You're talking about composite.
Sup, you have a cool idea, but maybe you don't know what to do with it. Easy. First thing.
Get muted. Alright, there we go. Shout out to Fago. Fuck yeah. Whoop whoop. Fago is life. Anything else we should shout out? good weed. Good weed is always fucking great. Go support your local plug. Not the fucking taxed ass dispensaries. Fuck the dispensaries. The taxes are fucking terrible. There's no taxes on weed in Michigan?
Fuck no, bro. $30.
Fuck yeah. In fucking Oklahoma and shit, it's like 150% tax. So it ends up being like fucking $60 for a $25 eighth. It's some fucked up shit.
I'm what you call a globe denier. You could even get me into a virtual construct if I can't find the borders myself.
What shape would you say you think the Earth is?
It appears to me to be a stationary plane, as opposed to the vastness of infinity of space. I would find it to be an ice plane where we have a localized sun and our environment thrives there. You know, these particular people have misled us on television. This is a brilliant opportunity to speak. We've been suppressed, censored by mainstream media. Alternative media is just a thing of beauty.
People suppress these stupid motherfuckers because what they're saying is complete bullshit. Why would anyone want to have this false information going around? Getting people to believe that the earth is fucking flat. That's why they're being suppressed. If you want to fucking call that suppression.
For me.
I view the other side as uneducated.
I'm running.
Yeah, what's up?
This 2-liter of Fago is old as fuck. This thing expired in December of 1921, bro.
What?
Yeah, bro, check it out. It expired December of 1921.
Definitely not December 19th, 2021.
No, definitely not, bro. It's definitely 1921.
Shout out to Fago. Shout out to Fago Moon Mist. It's one of the best flavors. Better than Mountain Dew. Fight me.
You're
I'm
uneducated.
running for this.
Well,
Oh yeah. Shout out to Fago.
they certainly think they're educated.
And they're following quite a bit of, the university system, what we call scientism.
Right, scientism.
Obviously is the belief in what's written, where we tend to be exploring
Yeah.
I believe we are forgetting something here, my man.
Oh, I think we are too. Want to say it?
You know what? I think it's, Oh, yeah. Shout out to Fago, motherfucker.
Shout out to Vago. They have so many fucking flavors, like 100 billion trillion flavors. Don't quote me on that because it's not that exact amount. That's an exaggeration. Obviously, if you believe that shit, you're retarded, just like these flat earthers. But they have a fuck ton of flavors. Like, overall, they probably have like a fucking 100 flavors. They got a lot of flavors. Basically, any beverage you've ever wanted, they have a flavor of it. Pretty much. And all of them are amazing, pretty much. Like, they got so many fucking flavors. Fucking Rockin' Ride, that's my shit.
For real, bro. I can drink fucking 32 liters in a fucking sitting. Not even fucking joking like that.
Vago, please sponsor us. Send us some firework Rockin' Ride and like fucking Moon Mist and like some bread pop. Just all the flavors. Just especially the new firework flavor. Come on, you gotta sponsor us.
Fago, make fucking 2 liters of that shit.
Yeah, make 2 liter fucking firework flavors. Make 2 liter. No, make fucking 3 liter. No, make fucking 4 liters of that shit. We need 4 liters.
in the field with physical properties. not theories of any kind. We're using
If you buy 8 of them bitches, that's fucking 32 liters of Fago. That's fucking great.
actual measurements that are calculated not by our guidelines, but the guidelines of science as
32 ounce? Fuck that. 32 liter.
Damn right.
Okay, back to the video. Shout out Fago.
we know it. I can only hope they're uneducated as opposed to disingenuous.
Well, that's the other thing too, because we know that at least on a large scale, the government has been disingenuous, and they're pushing a narrative, right?
Okay, yeah, the government's full of bullshit, but that doesn't mean they're hiding that the Earth. What would the government gain out of telling you that the Earth is round? What would they gain from that? Tell me. What are we gaining? What is the government gaining from hiding the fact that the fucking Earth is round? What would they gain from that? Seriously, I want to know, if you're a flat earther, what would they gain from that? Any idea, Richie? What they would gain from that?
I cannot fucking think. I can only think of money, but that makes no fucking sense either.
Literally, you can look up at, okay, wait till fucking nighttime, look up at the moon, and then you can tell that it's fucking round. Like, you can take a fucking camera and, like, zoom in, take a picture of the moon, and you'll see that it's fucking round. Why would the moon be round, but the Earth isn't?
You notice how none of the flat earthers are in fucking Japan? Because they can actually see this shit. With all the fucking mountains there and land on rocks and shit. Like a fucking round shape.
The stupidity of the people in this country is worrying, because these people are teaching the future generations. Like, I don't want to have to work one day with a motherfucker as stupid as this, because I know people not too far from my age, take Chris for example, that believe in some stupid ass shit.
Right? So it's hard for us. I mean, I'm sure that you've met people too. It's like, look, are you haven't looked into it yet, or are you a shill? Are you part of a disinformation campaign?
I don't think you guys are uneducated. I think you're wrongly educated.
I think the problem with what I've seen in the flat earth crowd is that it's not that they're undereducated, but they, instead of looking at evidence and letting the evidence guide to where the ultimate conclusion is, they start with a conclusion and then they try to cherry pick evidence to support their pre-drawn conclusion. They cast away all the bits of evidence that actually is contrary to their belief system.
I think that you're very well educated as well as you are, Jim.
Certainly Ali is.
Imagine arguing with a scientist over scientific facts. Like, you're gonna deny what a scientist is saying.
Fucking balls on some people to do their stupid shit.
The fucking brains these people have are non-existent, I believe. Their fucking brain is probably flat brainers.
And we got the best education of all of us.
Exactly, and he paid for it too. But more and more professionals are coming on board. They're starting to question their reality. So the thing of it is once you start to really look.
He's saying more and more professionals are starting to question their reality? Where the fuck did he get that from? Because honestly, where I think he got it from is he pulled it straight out of his ass cheeks. Because that's not true at all. Give me one piece of data that says even something remotely similar to that. You fucking can't. Because it's not true.
Take a hard look at the evidence.
And if you do find something like that, and you believe it, then you might as well believe that fucking giraffes are purple, because I can create a Wikipedia article that says that giraffes are purple. Just like anyone can create a fucking Wikipedia article that says some stupid ass shit. Give me real sources.
And you are unafraid of just standing for the truth wherever that may.
That's great. I got banned from Wikipedia from changing shit. So my Wikipedia account was banned. Wow. Don't go around changing random shit on Wikipedia. Actually do it. It's fucking great. You just didn't hear that from me. Actually you did. I don't give a fuck.
They lead you, then people end up becoming flat.
I'll be right back in 1 second. I need to move my sister onto the bed. You wanna go lay down? Do you wanna lay down? No. You wanna go back to sleep? No. Come on, why not? You wanna lay down? Come on. Sure you were. I heard you say Dr. Chronic. You're shit, nigga. I said you like taking it up the ass, motherfucker. I'm trying to put it in my stream. Why not? Okay, I'm back, and she fucking woke up and will not go back to sleep, so hopefully she does.
Flat earthers.
What are you hoping to get from the discussion today?
I'm hoping to be able to tell our side of the story from the inside out. So many times, flat earthers are depicted from the outside in, and I want to be able to share with others empirical data that proves the earth is not what we've been told.
Okay, this is big. Raid Shadow Legends made me a champion, and everyone can get it. Me? Him? Anyways, here's how it happened.
This is the tale of an orphan adopted by the Shadowkin.
I have changed my mind at some point about this topic.
So when I was 12 years old, I went to space camp, and I met Alan B. Shepard.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and I wanted to be an astronaut, and I wanted to be the first woman to walk the moon.
Oh.
So for me, I'm a glober. I went into this completely wanting it to be true. And my husband told me, he saw this thing about the fake moon landing. And I was like, you're absolutely crazy. There's no way that the moon landings are fake.
The moon landing, honestly, I think it was faked. Because if you go back and watch okay, first there's no wind in space, right? On the moon, there's no wind force at all. But if you go back and watch it, you can see the flag fucking waving. Explain that. If anyone can explain that, I'll believe that it was real, but as far as I know, using scientific facts, I don't see a way that it could be real.
And then in 2010, my husband was killed. And so I never really developed that until around 2014 when Flat Earth kind of came back up. And that little voice inside my head said, remember the fake moon landings? Remember when that was brought to my attention? And then I started really critical.
Okay, here's why I think that the moon landing, why I think they would have faked it. And honestly, it has nothing to do with Flat Earth. So, the US and Russia were in basically a race to see who could get to the moon first. So I think they faked it so they could be the ones that did it first, because America are fucking greedy bastards and they just want to do everything first. That's why I think that it was faked. That's why I think this shit was faked, so. See, I use evidence for my claims. These people are talking about biblical evidence, which is, it just can't be used in an argument. You can't use biblical evidence in an argument. Because it's not facts, it's not been proven, because it's not real evidence.
Analyzing that, and I would say, just looking at that evidence, if they can lie about the moon landings, they can certainly lie about pictures and satellites and other things. And so I started going down that.
What would they gain from lying about the other shit, though? I can see how they would gain something from lying about the moon landing, but about fake pictures of the Earth, what would they gain from that?
Rabbit hole of studying, so that was my influence from
How
my
many
husband.
lies does it take to make a liar, right?
And being ridiculed for being inquisitive is pretty tough on us. I wouldn't say that I've changed my mind because my mind isn't set. NASA is solely designed to change my mind. It is, from its inception, from its discovery, has been a television program, it's been a space program to sell us on something that they've yet to actually show us. Show me a globe spinning with clouds and a moon, show me home, and I think I could shut up easily. I think I could shut up.
That's how the moon works. That if the Earth was flat, orbit wouldn't be possible. It's simply how this shit works. Cause why would they put all this science and evidence into learning how the moon orbits the Earth and shit? Cause if they weren't balls, that would be impossible. They're spheres. They orbit. Why would they go through making up all this scientific facts to prove that the Earth is round? That proves that the Earth is round. Why would they take all the time to make that shit up? Why? There's no explanation at all.
The timing of your conversions is interesting to me. 20 years ago, the flat Earth world was tiny and insignificant. Enter the advent of the internet, YouTube, online discussion groups, all these new available places where you could find information about everything.
This is true that the evidence as you looked were not.
Also, with the moon landing, it was only those astronauts. Who was filming? Who was the dude filming? That was just something I want to know.
Why the fuck is there no stars?
Yeah, why is there no stars? Why is it just black? Because they were not on the dark side of the moon. No one can explain that shit.
Not robust evidence. And the sources you used, they were not reliable sources again. But my problem is that, and I like you guys that you are very skeptical, but at the same time, you are not skeptical about your belief system.
You
that
keep
should
going
have come
back.
first.
You think that that's my foundation for why I believe the Earth is flat, and I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Okay.
I have evidence that proves it's flat.
What type of
proves
evidence?
It's not a ball.
What type of
We're being misled. We're being deliberately misled by mainstream
Now,
media.
what's your evidence?
We see too far. We see too far. We should not be able to see. I live in Dana Point.
Okay.
I can see San Clemente Island, which is 60 miles away.
So what?
It's very high.
What do you mean, so what?
No, I'm on the beach. I'm
Okay, she said her reasoning is we can see too far. She can see San Clemente Island from where she lives, and that's 60 miles away. What she doesn't realize is the Earth is billions of miles. It's a fuck ton of miles. 60 miles is like an inch compared to like how big the Earth actually is. So her argument is not reasonable.
on the beach.
What do you mean?
You want to go lay down? Okay, fine.
So what?
I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
Can you see a ship which is going?
Let's talk about the ship that goes
Yes,
over the curvature of
okay.
the Earth. I love
So-
it. So science has said that when I see a ship go out of my field of view, it's going over the curvature of the Earth, correct?
Yes.
But then I bring my P900 up, and guess what? I can zoom it back in.
Not
So
all
is
of
it
it, though.
going over the curvature of the Earth or
you
not?
can't.
Absolutely.
Oh, not all the
No, you
time?
can't.
Not all the time?
No, you don't see all the ship. The bottom part of the ship
Yes.
is hidden by the
At that
curvature.
distance, you shouldn't see the top
At
of it
all.
either.
If the Earth were truly flat, there would be really hardly any limit. You would be able to stand at the top of the Empire State Building and look towards Chicago, a mere 1,000 miles away, and see the lights of Chicago at night.
No,
Why wouldn't
no, because you have an atmospheric disturbance.
Very thick.
I've been
Water
into
alone.
astronomy since I was 10.
It's faulty logic. It's completely faulty logic.
Let's reset, and then I have a more interesting.
Okay.
One of the big things I do is investigate extraordinary claims like flat eartherism or ESP or all sorts of different things. The Earth is undoubtedly a globe and not flat. This is well supported by gobs of science.
Scientific consensus is possible.
Scientific consensus is possible.
What is the question?
I don't understand the question.
Scientific consensus is possible.
Possible. Anything is possible. I mean, anything is possible. I've got a tremendous issue with consensus and peer review. I've been spending a lot of time arguing with people that argue the other side. And I found that surprisingly, consensus always wins. It was shocking to me that the group with the majority has an incredible advantage. As scientists, flat earthers, truthers, punks, we're at an incredible disadvantage.
Let's talk about scientific consensus for a second. You're never going to get 100% of anyone. There is scientific consensus on a global Earth. There's scientific consensus on evolution. A lot of big issues.
Use the word theory. No.
Do you know what a theory in science is? An extremely
and a fact is a fact.
Don't mistake this word theory.
You are
in science. It's not conjecture. It's not.
It's an explanation. Is by definition it's an explanation.
It's a deep.
Well, let's talk
so this
about
is
a fact.
something
Show me a
people
fact.
made a
then.
mistake.
Why
They
aren't
think
all facts
theory is-
theories?
In science, the word theory is the highest level that you can give something because it's so well supported.
What about a fact?
That is a fact. It's
not a
He keeps arguing over that a theory is not a fact when it's defined as an explanation. He just needs to shut the fuck up and admit that he's wrong because he keeps contradicting facts. He's saying that, oh well, that's a theory. What about a fact? If you look at the definition of theory, it's an explanation. So that's as close as you can get. That's the highest you can get in science. Like a theory, that's an explanation. That is a fact.
a fact, you would call it a
You know
fact.
why? Do you know why? Because in science, there's always room for improvement. There's always room to find to tweak and find better information.
So that is how science works.
It gets better refined over time, as opposed to flat earth theory, which never gets refined. It simply is what it is.
New ideas have limited access to media and limited exposure. Until we're in university curriculums, we will continue to appear uneducated.
Well, that's not true. In the history of science, we had many occasions that the ideas, it was not welcomed by the society. Einstein was one of them. Galileo was one of them. But if your theory is an authentic one, and it can go through this hardship of scientific method, eventually will win.
I used to believe that science was after the truth, right? We all just want to know what the truth is. Science has been trying so hard to divorce itself from the idea of a creator when God's intent was to create science to lead you to Him. You know, sometimes things seem supernatural that we are able to explain later through, science. Okay, I understand. But there are other things.
Okay. I don't believe the Earth was created. Because if the Earth was created, that gives the idea of a creator, which I don't believe in. The universe is infinite, which means there's no beginning and no end. It just always was, always will be. There is no creator.
As well that are supernatural, that go beyond the natural, that we can only explain through believing in a creator, right?
This is my big issue with science.
But there is no start and there was no end. Space always was. Because matter cannot be created or destroyed. So, over time, this matter that was always there, because there always had to be something. There always was matter. Just that matter one day expanded. And that matter, as the matter expanded, that created a Big Bang, which I believe in the Big Bang. And there's this, basically matter got closer together, closer together, closer together, closer together, and then boom, supernova, created a star, boom, now we have the galaxy. And over time, that created new shit and new shit and new shit and new shit. Because it's not creating new shit. Matter is just expanding. And that's how we have the universe as it is today. What do you think this piece of plastic right here was just created from nothing? No, because it's impossible. You can't create something from nothing. It's physically impossible.
Scientific approach and non-scientific approach. You are absolutely right. In science,
You can't just fucking pop it right out of your ass. That's not how shit works. Everything always had to come from something.
we are after the truth, and we are hoping by each day we getting closer and closer to the truth. We never get there. Never.
Well, I know that's true for you, and
no, that's a science. That's you guys. You think you do have the truth. Now let's look at.
The truth will never be fully there because there's always more and more to discover. We don't even have 25% of our oceans discovered. And yet people want to say the earth is fucking flat and shit. Some stupid ass shit.
And the sad thing is, look how many people there are.
Mm-hmm.
We still can't figure it out.
stream. I'll be right back. Not that anyone's probably watching anyway. Alright, I'm back.
The evidences, as you were mentioning. You do have the conclusion, let's find the evidences. Science doesn't work that way.
That's not true. That is not true.
Well, you are saying
No.
you are referring to Jesus, who many billions of people do not believe, including myself.
And many more billions do.
So what?
So who's right?
Of course I can.
So
When you say that we start with a conclusion and then try to match everything to make it work, like that to me is complete dishonesty. That is not true at all.
That is what you are doing
No,
right now.
you're not. You're making that assumption,
No,
which
it's
I
not
think
my
science does a
assumption.
lot of.
Well,
So do you make assumptions or not? Does
I
science
don't
make
know.
assumptions? Does science
No,
make
well,
assumptions?
Yeah,
Of
we
course.
sure.
Okay.
We do
course.
make assumptions
But-
based on things that are well supported and
Bias.
proven and reproven.
Bias.
We don't have
Show
to.
me how.
Okay, this bitch is saying that science just randomly assumes shit. We don't assume something unless we have evidence to back it up. They don't even have evidence. They're just assuming some shit. They're the ones that are doing the assumptions.
How you isolate gravity. If gravity
We
is
don't
an
have to-
assumption, you show me in the scientific method how you isolate gravity.
We've done that actually.
Place this stuff. You think it's cool, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Did she just say gravity is an assumption? Fucking gravity? The shit that's holding the bitch down from flying away into the fucking sun? Gravity is an assumption, apparently. People just assume gravity is real, you know? It's not a real based fact or anything. Fucking gravity, of all things. She didn't even explain it. She just says it's an assumption.
And reset.
Shit got so heated because she was talking so much dumb shit that they had to stop and start a whole new topic because this bitch is being so dumb. I'd stop and then slap the bitch in the face if someone said some stupid shit like that. Like, people like this make me want to fucking just hit him right in the face. Like, how stupid can you be? Like, it's physically frustrating listening. Yeah, hashtag Chris. It's physically frustrating listening to this shit. Listening to this stupidity.
Yes. You're like a round hard candy.
Conclusions require knowledge.
I just want to check in. How are you guys feeling? How is this discussion going?
I kind of feel like
The discussion is going nowhere because these flat earthers are literally retarded.
I want to develop some of this stuff a little bit more. It feels high level, but I feel like there's so much.
She needs to do more research because she came into this with no facts, no research, no evidence, nothing at all. Just her own opinion. Opinions are not facts. You can't base anything off opinion or the Bible. You just simply can't. Because it's not facts.
That I haven't really even touched base on.
Well, I mean, I certainly didn't think that anybody was going on either side was going to.
Makes me want to fucking take out my brain, light that shit on fire, and then just pop it back in my head.
Flip.
Well, there's still time.
There's still time. I have hope for you, Wendell, and Shelley. I don't know about Dan. I have hope for you too.
I swear, I wouldn't be able to do this conversation. Like, probably 20 minutes ago, that we're 21 minutes in, like 20 minutes ago, I would have slapped the shit out of every single one of them. And probably gotten arrested. Because I would have slapped the fucking shit out of someone for saying some shit like that. For saying some stupid ass shit. Like, how can, like, honestly, at first, I thought that fucking flat earthers weren't real. It was just a troll, a fucking meme. And then I met people like Chris.
Oh my god, he's a fucking flat earther.
Probably. With all the shit he believes in, I wouldn't be surprised.
But you know, it's certainly. I'm glad it's a civil discussion. Certainly.
Oh yeah.
Put your watch
He blocked you, wow.
to the side, and then just do another round.
Can we do that call? I wanna see how fucking stupid you are.
Hey, what was that?
Good.
He flipped.
Wendell, welcome aboard. Welcome.
He flipped. Hey, what was that?
Good.
He flipped.
Wendell, welcome aboard. Welcome.
The greatest moment in television history, right there.
Good.
Another fucking ad.
Copy.
It's the worst web browser. Fucking have it. It sucks.
All right. NASA is trustworthy.
Give me a moment while I blow my fucking brains out because of this stupidity. Did you hear this shit, Richie? The flat earthers don't believe in NASA. NASA's fake. It's all a lie.
Excuse me, what?
They don't believe in NASA. It's all fake. It's a fucking lie.
Did I actually hear you right?
You heard me right. I am glad this thing is not loaded, because I would have blown my fucking brains out right now. I just want to fucking shoot 17 rounds into my fucking computer right now. That's how fucking stupid this shit is. Just right into the fucking screen.
Dude, I just got a kill with my sniper after I was dead.
How?
I don't know. I'm playing Black Ops 1 right now, and it said I got a kill. Those actors spawned in and changed it again to 60.
Wow.
That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck?
Who knows?
So, I mean, obviously, any organization can be wrong with certain things, and they may have individuals that lie or deceive or something, but as a general organization,
I bet these flat earthers think that weed can kill you.
they're looking for the truth.
Yeah, the idea that NASA and the government is lying to us about the shape of the Earth.
Straight up liquid fucking cheese.
Liquid fucking cheese, bro. That liquid gold shit, you know?
Liquid gold. Fucking liquid cheese. That's what weed does to you, just so you know, everyone. It actually turns your brain into liquid cheese. My source, fucking Chris.
Yeah, bro.
Smartest man ever.
Retarded, bro.
Smartest man, thinks evolution isn't real. Very smart. Fucking genius, of course.
Earth is the height of conspiracy theories. In order for this to be true, the literally hundreds of thousands of people who at some point over the last 50 or 60 years would had to be somewhat complicit in this, and nobody spills the beans at all, is on the face of it completely unbelievable.
The private does not know what the general is doing. There's compartmentalization happening all the time.
Of course.
So it wouldn't be that far-fetched. Has the government ever lied to us is really the question at stake.
We all agree on that.
The government, yes, fuck the government. It's not like I made a whole fucking song about how the system is corrupt, but you know, we're just not gonna talk about that.
Hey, what song, bro? I don't know what you were talking about.
Song? Yeah, no idea. Go listen to my song. It's on fucking SoundCloud. It's called Fuck the System. We're Twisted khron-x. Actually, wait, it's not even up yet. Never mind. But still check out my SoundCloud, Twisted khron-x. TWISTED KHRON-X. Quick plug.
But now
Common ground.
Now we have NASA.gov, right? And absolutely, they're not lying about anything. They're completely transparent. Everything is true. We'd be foolish to
There's
think
a
that's
difference
true.
here. I'm sorry. This is a fallacy here. There's
Not
a
a fallacy.
I'm sure it is.
Go
See,
ahead.
you were talking about a government. Now you're talking about an agency of the government.
NASA.gov.
But this agency is.
She's saying NASA is part of the government because the website is nasa.gov.
Does she not know what the definition of gov on internet means?
Clearly fucking not. It just means it's an official fucking website. They're an official agency.
It amazes me how stupid people can be on this planet, and they're still alive.
And there's still 10 minutes of retardedness left.
Scrutinized by thousands and thousands of scientists around the globe. You are dealing with smart people, believe me. You are dealing with smart people.
I don't deny that.
So
It's almost taken me a whole fucking hour to get through this shit because of all this stupidity. Look, you know how you were talking about how it was almost 4:20? It's almost 4:20 in Texas now.
Holy shit.
And just so y'all know, I'm in Texas. My homie Richie, he's in fucking Michigan. It's an hour apart in time zones. His time zone is I don't fucking remember, and my time zone is I also don't fucking know. I don't know about time zones. some shit. I live. It's an hour apart, so it's taken me over an hour to explain the stupidity of this shit.
It is very hard to do that. Once or twice, maybe, not for the all time.
Raise your hand if you think we went to the moon.
What is the proof? Hundreds and hundreds of pounds of moon rocks and dust. And we have distributed those freely.
Okay, so what they're saying is that we've never gone to the moon. Yes, I believe that the moon landing, the original moon landing, was not real. But I do believe that we have gone to the moon. There is proof that we have gone to the moon. The original moon landing, they have no evidence that that's real, but we have evidence that we have, in fact, gone to the moon. They don't believe that we've ever gone to the moon at all.
How fucking stupid people can be. How?
To PhD scientists around the world. And not one of those geologists have said, what is this?
Been proven to be fake.
And also and collected on the ice in Antarctica and in the Arctic as well. Those are collected. You don't have to go to the moon to get moon rocks. As a matter of fact, all U.S. Air Force photography prior to 1958 shows a flat Earth. Only NASA shows
That's
a
not
sphere.
true.
That's
absolutely not true,
Jim.
He says, this dude's saying that all government data, other than NASA, says that the Earth is flat. I want to see where he's pulling this information out of his ass from. Like, I want to see where he's actually getting all this data.
A god touched him in his sleep and told him, "Oh shit, we got cashews." No way. Hey, Raymond, do you like cashews?
Yeah, cashews are pretty fucking good. The only nuts that aren't good are fucking walnuts. Fuck walnuts. Walnuts taste like shit.
I wouldn't lie to you.
And the other
NASA's lying to you, my friend.
The other bit of proof
Not myself.
is we have a laser retroreflector on the moon.
Yeah.
That we're using now.
We still use to this day.
It's sitting there.
You can find to the inch how far away the moon
No
is.
pictures of home.
That only is there. By the
No,
way,
there are not.
My question to you is, why? Why would all these honest, hardworking people perpetuate this massive fraud? Why would they do this?
What's the benefit of doing
Okay,
that?
the benefit of it. They make $52 million a day. Follow the money.
No, the little
Follow
guy.
the money.
The little guy.
That's what, then when you say all, okay?
But it didn't start out that way. And NASA was not founded to prove the Earth was a globe. It had nothing to do with the way they were founded.
Well, if you go and study
Are you
the
sure?
Yeah, positive.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, what's this one about? The show is also really fucking good. Bong Appetit. I think the show's on Netflix or Hulu. It's fucking great. And the book is really fucking good too. Yeah, fucking you can make all the plug Bong Appetit. Go watch the show, go read the book. It's really some good shit. Cannabis infused recipes all the way. Some good fucking shit. And since we're on the subject of cannabis-related books, shout out to High Times, one of the best cannabis magazines in the world. High Times, come sponsor us. Bong Appetit, High Times. Oh, also it's 420. Perfect time to fucking mention that. Damn. R.I.P. for the homies bowl. Drop that shit. Did you lose any weed? Damn. I lost a bowl in my room and just never found it. A fully packed bowl. Also an eighth. There's just a random eighth laying around somewhere that I never found.
Somebody has to be a voice for reason, and somebody has to be a voice for truth. It would be a fantasy to believe that I would change anybody's mind from the other three. However, if there's somebody sitting on the fence, and this is the first introduction to this debate, perhaps they'll hear the reasonable voice and say, that makes more sense than having this pizza-shaped Earth.
I can put myself in.
There we have it, everyone. The Earth is shaped like a fucking pizza. And one day, God's just gonna cut it into pieces and take a slice and eat that shit.
The mindset of the other side.
I used to be a ball earther. Everything you say right now is completely what I used to agree to. So I completely understand where you're coming from.
For me, I think the correct way to do any kind of investigation or to examine things is by literally putting yourself in that mindset of the other person. So I do that. I disagree with your position, but I completely understand from your perspective where.
Exactly. Before this ad comes, I'm gonna pause it right here. If I put myself in the mindset of the Earth is flat, okay, the Earth is flat. Let's say I believed that the Earth is flat. I can simply look up studies. We can see the studies for flat Earth. They have no real factual evidence. They have nothing to claim, nothing to prove, nothing that actually would prove that the Earth is flat. And then you go into the studies of how the Earth is round. There's millions more fucking research done and proof evidence that the Earth is flat. So if you base it down, just the facts alone of the Earth being round cancels out that the Earth could be flat.
What you're saying.
Enlisted is the free, brand new online World War II shooter. Command a squad of soldiers and participate in legendary battles of the Second World.
From your perspective, what you're saying.
The trouble I have understanding your perspective is, in the modern world, unless you live in a cave somewhere, you have to believe in science implicitly. I met a flat earther.
Yeah, what's up?
The fucking base for khron-x revival was fucking ridiculous.
Dope.
Dude, fucking car alarms were fucking going off from that shit.
Oh, that's fucking great. Car alarms going off from the loud ass bass.
There, a young woman who said, "I don't trust anything that."
Bro, I was watching fucking this shit of Cottonmouth King concerts, and you can tell even just from the YouTube video the fucking bass is crazy from Cottonmouth King concerts.
I want our bass to be fucking the loudest bass at a concert ever, bro.
that science does. And that's a problem because human beings can't replicate the whole body of science every single generation. At some point, you have to.
Did your show turn off? What do you want to watch? Baby Shark? Okay. You can go sit down now.
to trust what's already been discovered and proven and move on to the next thing. Otherwise, we're not going to advance at all. I mean, when you turn that key ignition in your car, you expect the car to start out.
And not blow up.
And not blow up, because science puts you in that position. So it's really hard to understand how people would know in their hearts that science achieves wonderful things and then just jumping ship when it comes to this other issue.
We're not drawing conclusions. We understand the mechanisms that made that car work. There is no theories and no disputed conclusions involved there. It's not a good analogy. Can I admit a great compromise that we have to experience being against the grain people is we have to literally.
If he says he knows the exact scientific explanation of that, I want him to explain how every single part of a car works then. Because I bet he fucking can't.
Sit in a group and decide whether or not we can afford to have an opinion, and that's.
Oh yeah, probably God came down in his sleep and told him. That's gotta be it.
That's tough.
I actually agree with you there, because we're the same thing. I mean, I think
You can make conclusions based off what's happening. Like, okay, say your stomach starts growling. You can use common sense and conclude that you're hungry. You don't have to fucking you don't have to go and fucking do a study and prove it. If your stomach's growling and you're feeling hungry, obviously you're fucking hungry. It's common sense. You use common sense for these things. Look at the moon. These people don't understand common sense.
Skeptics go through this and atheists go through this. I don't believe in God. When I'm around religious people, I take a chance socially when I tell them I'm an atheist. So I know it takes some courage to follow your beliefs, and I appreciate that. But I think I've done a lot of research in that venue too. And it's not something I choose to believe in, it's something I have to believe in based on the evidence.
See, what I get from you guys is that seeing is believing. So how come you believe in God or Jesus? You haven't seen neither of them, right?
I've seen evidence, though.
Well, exactly. So we are looking for evidence. There are many, many other evidences for Earth not being flat. My point is that these experiments clearly show that the Earth is globe. And you don't need to go outside the globe to see it's globe.
It's a theoretical.
You told me you want the evidence. If you're saying that you look only to see something, then I dispute your belief system in God and Jesus or Jehovah or Buddha or Zarathustra or anyone.
You keep going back to religion as
because
being
it's
our
coming
conclusion.
from there.
No,
You think you do
no,
have the
I
truth.
have evidence. I have evidence.
You
for
quoted
what
at the
I know.
beginning of this. You quoted Bible.
Of
That's
course
the
I did,
reason.
but that is not the only reason I know what the shape of the earth.
Then give more evidence. If you're saying that the evidence that she's giving is not the only evidence she has, then give reasonable fucking evidence. It's not that hard. God damn, can you not grasp the fucking concept of evidence that's factual evidence and not just a fucking quote from the Bible? Like, seriously. If you have other evidence, fucking give that evidence. And not a fucking quote from the Bible. Like, if you don't want people to call you fucking stupid, explain why you're not stupid. Explain why you believe what you believe. Give evidence of what you believe. Don't just fucking quote the Bible. Don't just quote a fictional book. That's like me saying, like, I saw in SpongeBob that fucking sponges can talk. So it's gotta be true. I saw it on SpongeBob, you know? Sponges can talk. It's gotta be true. I saw it. I saw it on SpongeBob. It's gotta be true. use real factual evidence that can be backed up. Because the Bible is fictional. I don't care what you think. It's fictional. If you go back to all these ancient religions, you can see that Christianity bases itself off a bunch of old myths and religions. It's the truth.
Earth is, and you keep, that's fallacy.
It's not fallacy.
It is a
Actually,
fallacy.
it is not fallacy.
It is a fallacy.
I'm a theoretical physicist. What I'm doing is the combination of string theory and cosmology. So we try to understand what happened during the Big Bang, after the Big Bang, or even before the Big Bang.
What are you hoping to get from the discussion today?
Well, I hope I would be able, particularly to the young generation, to convince them that first, they should think critically and don't believe anything. They shouldn't take anything for granted. Look at the evidences and examine those evidences and throw away those claims that are not evidence-based.
Science.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't make a claim without basing it off evidence. It's just stupid to claim something that you can't prove. Like, I can claim some random bullshit and say it's true. That doesn't mean it's true. I can say guacamole is made from pears. Does that mean it's true?
Remy, you know what I believe in? I believe in the legends of brutal legend. Look it up. The stories of brutal legend.
The stories of... What's that about?
Just look it up and you'll understand why I believe in that over any other religion.
What is it? Brutal legend?
Yes, my guy. I believe in the mystical stories, the factual stories of the mythical gods.
Fucking brutal legend. Okay, yeah, that's fucking great.
Dude, you need to listen to the stories though. Look at the stories. There's like 30 minutes of them. And it's fucking awesome as shit.
I'll look into that later.
Not to put it down, but when you're talking about rocket science, this is very difficult for the majority of people to understand, and it's designed that way. And so, in a lot of ways, hiding behind rocket science is similar to religion. If you look at the Catholic Church back in the days, only we can interpret the Bible. You have to listen to what we say. So in a lot of ways, we're getting that same notion from science that says, only we can interpret what these numbers are. You just need to trust us. But then when we actually do go and test some of their equations and they don't work, does that beg the question for...
No, because that doesn't happen. The scientific evidence is backed up. You can't defy scientific evidence. There's no experiment that has gone against scientific evidence. Find me a study. I fucking dare you, because you fucking can't. It's impossible. You're fucking stupid. Get the fuck out of here.
For us to go and test it ourselves, absolutely.
You can test it yourself. You can test all these things yourself. Become a fucking scientist and test it yourself. If you really want to do that shit, become a scientist, test it yourself.
I would say, one great thing about science is its predictability. Let's for a short moment, assume that your model, this flat Earth model, is correct. I don't know, what does it buy for us? What does it predict for us? So my question for you guys would be, next time bring me something from your theory, your model, that you can predict something which the globe Earth model cannot predict. Then I would change my mind.
I would just say that don't believe anything that I've said. You got to do your own research. And I think what you'll find is that you'll see that a puzzle piece doesn't fit. And the only way you're going to do that is if you put your own eyeballs on it.
I don't blame people for being skeptical. I'm skeptical about a lot of different things. I applaud that instinct in you. But you have to go beyond just not believing in something. Ask the hard questions. Ask what qualifies a YouTuber, a book author, anywhere else you're getting this information, what qualifies them to make wide-ranging comments about the shape of the Earth? Look, anybody who can overturn Einstein or some major theory is going to be eventually written in the halls of science for the rest of their lives.
If you can overturn a scientific theory, do it. If you're claiming you can defy what science says, do it. Fucking do it. Because you can't. You can't go against what science says because it's factual. It's based on facts. You can't just not believe something because someone on YouTube said it.
But they have to come up with the goods. They have to show.
If some random person is not qualified to be giving these facts about this shit, then why should you believe them? Because they're probably stupid and don't know what they're talking about.
Good science-based evidence that what they say is true, and they have to withstand the test of time and peer review and the rigors of the scientific method.
All right. Thank you. I'm all split.
Ollie, it was nice to meet you.
I'll get a hug too. Almost neighbor.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Hey, I want to get you a copy of my novel.
Oh, good job.
And,
Hey, good job to you.
Thank you guys for watching this episode.
The Earth is not flat. I think we can conclude.
What do you mean, bro? Every fucking thing they said can be backed up. What the fuck is wrong with you? Stupid little piece of shit said. Everyone knows that everything that you said can be backed up by God.
Okay, what should we what should we look at next? I'm gonna look up some shit on why weed is evil, because I really want to know.
Because the devil smoked it.
Good, bro. Hail Satan. Okay, let's see this. The truth about marijuana. I want to hear the truth.
Look, stop paying full price for Amazon.
Yeah, let's see this random dude on a fucking TED Talk about it. I don't care if he's not qualified. Yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah, totally. Come on, let's hear this shit.
It's a really beautiful day, isn't it? The sun is shining and the weather is just perfect. You know what else is perfect? The date, April 20th, or in this case, 420. Now, what some of you may not realize is that 420 is the most famous staple in the marijuana industry.
Okay, that's not completely accurate at all. Apparently, 420 is the biggest staple in the marijuana industry. It's the biggest thing in the, not even weed itself, just the day 420, the biggest staple in the cannabis industry. Damn, didn't know that. Cool.
However, some of you may not actually know the true story behind 420.
It's not like I've been in the fucking cannabis community for 5 years, but you know, fuck what I think, you know, fuck my facts, you know.
You see, one day a group of high school students known as the Waldos had secretly hidden a stash of marijuana somewhere around their campus. And they would always have a time when they would go out and begin their weed smoking adventures. Can you guess what time it was? Exactly, 420. So, yeah, so this sort of became the code phrase for when these Waldos would go out and start smoking this marijuana. And pretty soon, the whole town was aware of their actions, and there was even an article about them for the High Times. Now, looking out into the crowd right now, I see some faces.
Okay, he knows how to use Wikipedia and look up articles. Good for him.
Faces of shock or disbelief from some of you. Well, why though? Just because I'm talking about marijuana?
Okay, let's see if he's...
Just because I speak about it with such ease? You know, I've noticed how our country has become so conservative and afraid about this one topic that they consider talking about it a giant taboo. However, marijuana is not something that we should fear. If we were to look...
Okay, he's starting to talk facts here. This is facts right here. Marijuana is not something we should fear. It is safe. And Aya, I swear I will throw you out my window if you do not behave. So you better get over here right now. Come here. Sit down.
Past all the bad rep and controversy that marijuana has received in the past, we would truly see the truth of how marijuana is not a menace at all. And that is what I'm here to talk to you about.
Okay, I like what this guy's speaking. Marijuana is not a menace. It's literally been proven to help with chemotherapy and fight off cancer. Like, that's a legitimate study. You can go into it, you can look into it. This is all legit shit. Like, literally, it can help with so much. Like, it's literally a fucking wonder drug. I have no idea why it's still illegal federally, because there's so much it can fucking help with. Like, it could save so many lives. Like, billions of people have died when they could have fought off their illnesses with cannabis.
About today.
Maybe not billions, but definitely millions.
The real truth behind marijuana. You see, now if I'm going to explain the truth to you all, I'm going to start from the beginning. The earliest traces of marijuana can be found in 8000 BC Taiwan.
And that's just the earliest traces. It was probably used before that.
And it was used as cords for pottery and other local artistry. It was so old, in fact, that some scientists have even speculated.
Fun fact, you can sustain yourself on cannabis alone. And cannabis can be used for so much. You can create an all-cannabis car, and it's more efficient and lighter than fiberglass. That's true facts. You can look that shit up.
That marijuana has had its hand in the development of modern-day society. From Taiwan, it diffused all around the world, from South Asia to South Africa to South America and even the Middle East.
Okay, this dude's not a weed hater. I want to try and I want to find some people who like. I want to see some people's reasoning on why it's so evil. Oh, here we go. Christians and marijuana. Oh, here we go. Is it okay for Christians?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. So in today's...
Wait, hold on. There's a video called How God Delivered Me from Smoking Weed. What does that even mean? Is weed a sin? Watch full video. Answer may shock you. I'm gonna assume it's not a sin because he's holding a joint in the fucking thumbnail.
Today's video, I'm going to be sharing something that is a sensitive topic. Because it's shameful.
I I believe the fucking the fucking third oil that was brought up in that shit. I believe that was fucking I don't remember like exactly on it, but I believe that if Jesus was alive, he definitely smoked pot, and cannabis oil was fucking used back then, and it's one of the things, the third thing, the mystery thing that was brought to Jesus. I believe it was cannabis oil. I mean, what else would it be?
And something that may be sensitive to other people because maybe they have been in my same shoes. And if you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about repenting of smoking weed and my testimony behind that. And
oh, she has a testimony, of course.
And this took place about 2-3 years ago, and it took me so long to talk about this because after everything was said and done, I kind of just needed time to, like, I don't know, I didn't feel led to talk about it. But now, all of a sudden, I'm feeling led to talk about it. Also, since this is such a sensitive topic, I would appreciate it if you kept the comments edifying, uplifting, building each other up, not breaking each other down, because as brothers and sisters in Christ, we are to build each other up in the Word of God and with gentleness and love.
Oh, this is so fucking bullshit already.
And if you aren't a Christian, maybe you're just coming here to mock. So you know what?
She already called it. She said if you're not a Christian, maybe you're just coming here to mock. Yeah, no shit.
I'm just gonna ignore you basically, but yeah, so I kind of feel.
Okay, before I call her a dumbass, I gotta see what she has to say. Yeah, what's up?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a shower quick because I didn't get to take one.
Fearful of judgment to share about this, but I do feel like God has put it on my heart to share my testimony and how I feel about Christians smoking weed. And this video can be titled, should Christians smoke weed? Because when I was partaking in that, I felt convicted, and I would often YouTube, should Christians smoke weed? And so maybe if you're a Christian, you're being led to my video, and I'm going to talk about my testimony and why I think that Christians should not be smoking weed. So
she said it. They shouldn't be smoking weed. You're a fucking dumbass. Weed is not bad for you. It never has been, never will be. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
So I have some notes here, so I might be looking down a few times. But this took place. Actually, first I should say a quick prayer. So if you would join me in prayer, that would be nice. And I pray that the screen that this want it to speak, amen. Easily accept.
That was almost a fucking minute long prayer.
This is practice. You hear about it everywhere.
Half a minute long prayer. A little
where everyone is doing it. Well, at least like in California, because I live in California, and it is you can get it very easily here. And
no shit, because it's legal, and that's a good thing.
And some church members partake in it too, just as I was doing it too. And I'm not coming from a place of judgment because I was there too. So if you are a family member who's watching this video, don't feel offended by this, what I'm going to say, and don't, I don't know, that's between you and God. I'm not God. I'm not here to judge you or to condemn you, but I'm going to tell my story and how I feel about weed. So a lot of people also say, it does no harm. You can't die from it. More people die from over-consuming alcohol than weed. Yes, that is true, but the Bible also says not to be drunken with wine. It's okay maybe to have one drink if your heart doesn't feel convicted over it, but, you're not supposed to be drunk.
Does it look like I give a fuck what the Bible says? Because the Bible also says that women shouldn't have opinions. So the Bible also says that if you're a slave, you should give in to your master. The Bible also says that witches should be fucking murdered. The Bible also says that genocide is okay. But we don't talk about that, so, you know.
With anything, we're supposed to be sober-minded, right? But alcohol is a whole nother topic. And for me, it was also a heart issue. I was doing it to try to feel something or escape. If you know my story, I am a young mom, so in a way, I think I was doing it to just like have fun, like seeing all my other friends his party. It made me long for that. And so
okay, weed is not a party drug per se. I mean, yeah, people smoke at parties, but people also smoke everywhere. Like, people wake and bake, smoke weed right in the morning. You don't see a lot of people downing half a fucking bottle of Jack at fucking 7 a.m. It's not productive, it's not good in any way, it's fucking terrible, not to mention that alcohol is fucking terrible for you. Fucking goodbye liver. Marijuana isn't bad for you at all. Like, it's better than any drug out there, in my opinion. In my opinion, there's no drug better than weed. Weed's the fucking best, it's the greatest, it's fucking dope, you know? It's fucking sick. I will smoke weed till the day I would die. So
do it too. Yeah, so it was a hard issue of trying to be in a different state of mind when we are supposed to be sober-minded and to be full.
We are supposed to be sober-minded? Says who? Says fucking God? Because I sure as hell don't believe in that shit.
Fully satisfied with Jesus and you know, the old man.
Be fully satisfied with Jesus. If I ever become a fucking Jesus lover, I give full permission for anyone to slap the fucking shit out of me. Slap some sense into my ass if I ever start becoming a fucking Jesus whore. Like, if I ever see the day, fucking slap the fucking shit out of me. It's fucking kick me right in the fucking balls. Kick some sense into my ass. If I ever start believing in some stupid shit like that.
Man has passed away, and now we are a new person and a new creation in Jesus. So when I was partaking in smoking, I was going back to my old sins. And that is actually, I can point that back to a Bible verse of Proverbs 26, verse 11. And it says, as a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. So
what the fuck does that even mean? Seriously, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, seriously. That doesn't even make sense.
yeah, I was just repeating past sins that were still gripping me and still had ties in my life. And this wouldn't be like an everyday thing. I would say this would probably be like 2 times a week or 3 times a week at night when my son would go to bed. And a lot of that, and I would do it in secret, like we would be very secretive about it. So that's like another thing, like if you're doing something in secret, you know you're trying to hide it because it's wrong, you know? And also we would do it at night.
Or maybe because you're just insecure about what other people will think. It's not wrong. God, this is stupid as fuck.
Partaking in this at night reminds me of this Bible verse of Romans 13 verses 11 through 14. And do this.
What do you want to watch? Baby Shark again? No. What do you want to watch? Baby Shark? No. Which one? This? Okay, back to this.
Knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now our salvation is nearer than when we first believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Therefore, let us cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk properly as in the day, not in revelry and drunkenness, not in lewdness and lust, not in strife.
What do you want to watch then? What do you want to... Hold on. My sister's being a crackhead. What? This? 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 That? Then what do you want to watch? Put something on yourself then. There you go.
And envy, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision.
What do you want to watch? Do you want to watch Sunny Bunnies? No. Do you want to watch Baby Shark? No. Do you want to watch Oh No? No. What do you want to watch then? I'm about to kick you out of my room if you don't stop being crazy. No. What do you want to watch? This? 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 Which one? This?
For the flesh to fulfill its lust. So, two things I want to point out is we are to cast off the works of darkness and to put on the armor of light, to put on Jesus Christ, and to make no provision for the flesh. And I was making provision for my flesh when I was practicing smoking. And when I was doing it, I knew deep down it was wrong. I felt conviction by the Holy Spirit. I felt like a fake Christian, like two-faced, almost like I was putting up this front, but then a few times out of the week I would do this thing where it was wrong of me, and I knew it was wrong, but I would still practice it. I wasn't open about it. I wouldn't tell anyone, because if I did tell someone, then they would probably look down at me.
No one is gonna look down at you for smoking pot unless you're stupid. Like if you look down on someone and condemn them for smoking weed, get a fucking life.
Or judge me, and which is true because I was doing something wrong. And I would often wake up the next day feeling shameful,
This bitch is just fucking like stupid, literally stupid. Literally stupid. This is the halfway mark of the video. I couldn't even get through the whole video. I got through half the video. Because the stupidity hurts my brain. The stupidity literally fucking hurts my brain. The Jesusness hurts my brain. Alright everyone, that's done for the stream. My brain cells have already depleted enough.